Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling, so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without. Watermelon sugar high, 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 sugar, sugar, watermelon sugar high,
Hey guys, it is Monday, July 6th at 11:25. I woke up maybe 30 minutes ago. I slept really well last night, so I'm really excited about that. Just making my morning drink, apple cider vinegar, greens, peptides, and my Trilogia vitamin C, which you can get at a discount on their site with my code Olivia. I'll link that below. But again, haven't been sleeping well, kind of the 4 hours. I do feel like the Morpho REM that I started helped a lot. More so with like quality of sleep, because I feel much more relaxed when I am going to bed. And when I sleep, I don't feel like my heart's racing. I feel like I sleep my 4 hours and it's like a solid 4 hours. Still not ideal, but improvements. I've had a really tough week this last week, 4 weeks out as of Saturday. No, is that right? Yes, 4 weeks out as of Saturday. Today's Monday. From 4 weeks out to 5 weeks out was a really hard time for me. I just really didn't like the way my body was looking at all. I felt really washed out. I was completely at my end stress-wise. Just like, I felt wired all of the time. Just on edge and strung out, basically. So that has been rough. And I feel much better now. I talked to my coach and he was like, gotcha, this is, you know, this is overwork, basically, which, you know, really is anticipated with the schedule I'm trying to maintain and just the stress of prep. I mean, it just is what it is. So you kind of got to take this stuff as it comes. Got my Organifi greens. So he had me take a couple rest days, which I hadn't really done because my rest days up until this point have been on work days, and that is anything but a rest day for those of you who understand the medical field life. So it's still been very high stress days as rest days. So to actually be home, I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so today. To actually be home and take a rest day was like, it was amazing. I felt like I could get so much done and like my body actually finally relaxed and I actually got some sleep. So I feel so much better. I feel like myself again and I'm ready to just keep working. And I think that is a really good testament to the fact that like grinding more is not always the option. You need to work, as everyone says, smarter, not harder. A lot of times, in most situations, why people are not making progress is because they're not pushing hard enough. However, if you have been pushing hard for an extended period of time and suddenly stop making progress after having made progress, you probably need to scale back for a minute. Whether that's with your diet, you're pushing food super high and can't grow, back off, let your body reset, and then push food up again. Or vice versa with a diet. You're pushing calories super low, you kind of got nowhere to go, your body's adapting really quickly, you might need to up food a little bit. Or you're training really hard, but not gaining muscle and just feeling stressed and worn out and getting injured, back off. Sometimes you go from 5 days a week to training to 3, and you start putting on mass like crazy and you enjoy your workouts again, and then you can start creeping up that volume again as progress demands. So, work smarter, not harder, and accept that progress is not linear. Progress, in my opinion, is the ability to adapt to situational demands with the resources that you've been given. So, if that is the definition, per my book, that does not say anything about needing to continuously progress in a certain direction, continuously lose weight, continuously gain muscle, continuously hit PRs. No, it means with today's resources that I've been given, i.e. enough sleep, the nutrition, maybe time. If you don't have time today, what can I do to optimize my results? And sometimes the answer is you get in a quicker workout. Sometimes the answer is I need a rest day today in order to continue to propagate my forward progression. Sometimes the answer is I need to back off things. I mean, it's just going to be individual, but your progress is directly linked in with your ability to adapt.
Adapt or die.
That's my pep talk for today. Probably not the only one for today, because I have to give myself pep talks all day long to stay in the right mindset. So, I'm back. I felt like crap for a few days, but we're good. I'm gonna drink this, go do my cardio, and then I'll show you kind of my day, and we'll get rolling. So I just had my drink, I showed you that, and then I made some coffee in my awesome Game of Thrones cup. Never forget. And I am going to go do my cardio, but I also have a posing session with Kristen Dwell. I want to say Kristen Dwell at 2. So it is gonna be 12 by the time I get to the gym. So I went ahead and packed my first meal, and I switched it around a little bit so that when I get home I can have my like eggs and cream of rice, which I enjoy and like to sit down and eat and savor. So I just made my like second meal, and I'm gonna have that first. It doesn't really matter because that'll actually push a little bit more carbs towards training, which I would rather do, and I also don't want to be posing on like a really full stomach. So I just went ahead and packed my 6-pack bag with fish and asparagus, my sous vide mahi, and then I've got my supplements, and then water, and then I'm taking my laptop because got some client work to do, and I might have time to do some of that in between. So I'm learning to be a lot more efficient. You really have to be. I'm someone who likes I like routine, but I like it slow and not overbooked. But right now I'm like, I have so many different routines that I have to take into account, so many different responsibilities pulling me different ways. So I really need to just like maximize my time. Plus I like doing videos, so I need to make time for that. So in order to do that, gotta crunch other things together. Maybe that means not doing work at home, which is probably a good thing. Maybe that means having a meal not at home, which is also probably a good thing. And we just, rocking the efficiency train. So I'm gonna go to the gym now, go do my cardio. It's been, well, yesterday I did walk a little bit just because I wanted to, but otherwise I haven't done cardio since Thursday. So I'm kind of excited to just get moving again. Next competitor. Quarter turn to the right. Quarter turn to the right. Quarter turn to the right. Legs face the front. Okay guys, I'm back from posing and then I went to Costco. I'm not gonna show you what I got because I got basically the same stuff that I got last time. I did get a cast iron skillet because I've been wanting one and some Tupperware, fun stuff. But for now, I'm freaking starving. I hit my wall. I was like, oh, I'll just run on this little bit of fish and asparagus for 5 hours and not eat and run around and do errands. And now I'm like, feed me right now or I'm gonna freaking punch a wall. So I'm gonna eat and then I'll be a much happier person. Okay guys, so the main reason I want to do this video is to talk about my schedule. And not just because it runs my life right now, but because I've had a lot of people ask me about balancing nursing or a swing shift job with competing and trying to fit in training. Not only are nursing shifts in the hospital typically 12 to 13 hours, mine is 13, but you don't work the same days every week. So there might be certain requirements in terms of working weekends, but like you just work random days or nights each week. For instance, looking at my calendar, I have my schedule on here, okay? And so these nights that say THD, those are the nights I work. So I have to think about it like I have the beginning of this day to do a couple things. Part of it's gonna be sleep, but the beginning of the day to do a couple things. And then I'm going to work into this next day. And then I don't work that night, so I can do more this day because it's my off day. And then I can do a little bit before work this morning, but then I work that night and I work the night back to back with that. This is a lot to keep up with. It's really hard because I am all about consistency and routine, and I truly believe that if you have solid habits and a solid routine, you can make anything happen. You just need to fill in the steps that it takes to get to the goal that you want to reach. So like if you're trying to achieve something simple like 10 pull-ups, it's like you set the steps. Okay, this week I have to work up to 3 pull-ups. So tomorrow I'm gonna do 2 and then assisted. Like you just have to build up the steps. So the problem with having one night shift schedule, which just makes everything more complicated, but also to a schedule that rotates, is your routine is kind of thrown off. So I like to approach things 2 different ways. There's 2 different days in my mind. Because I only work 3 nights a week, those days I have to approach one way. And then the days that I'm home, I have to approach differently. So by that, what I mean is sleep. I try to get as much sleep as possible before a shift. before my first shift, I will wake up around noon. I will go train. I will go do my cardio first. And after cardio, I'll have my first meal. And then I will train. And then I will come home, have my post-workout meal, and go to work. So then through the night, I'm having the rest of my meals, typically at 10, 1, and 4. And then I come home and have one at 7 or 8 whenever I get home, usually 8. And then I go to bed. If I don't work the next night, then sometimes I'll stay up for a little bit later in the morning because I like the sun, and I'll get some stuff done depending on how tired I am. If I do work, I need to get to bed immediately. So I will come home, have that meal, crawl into bed, sleep as long as possible. Ideally, I would sleep until around 3:30, and then I would go do my cardio, get back here, and get to work. Because my shift starts, I have to clock in at 6:40. So I said 2, but really there's 3 different approaches. There's the independent standing work night. So, I work Monday night, but I don't work the next night. So I can chill out after work Monday night. There's the back-to-back work nights where, I can train before this first shift, but I'm gonna have to just sleep and just do cardio before the second shift. Because one, if you do not sleep before a shift, regardless of your job, you're not gonna be very safe or effective at your job. Unless your job's really chill and you can run on a few hours of sleep, which I don't recommend. I'd really recommend getting some sleep between those kind of shifts. 2, don't train, because you're already not gonna recover as well, because you're likely not getting as much sleep. If you're already doing cardio, that's gonna take up however much time that's taking away from sleep, taking away from the meal prep. So I don't train on that second day unless I wake up and absolutely can't go back to sleep, which has only happened once since I started work here. Now, my third approach, my third day would be a rest day. So, and by rest, I mean a non-work day. So a non-work day, I would say, get off work, come home, chill for a little bit, have my last meal, go to bed, sleep as long as I can. 4 hours probably. And then I'll wake up, kind of ease into my day. I like to keep things lower stress on those days as possible. Today I had to be on a time crunch, but that's because I actually slept pretty well. So then I'll, have my morning drink, which I do every day, go do my cardio, come back, do client work, do videos, whatever I need to get done. And I try to take about at least 3 or 4 hours before I go to the gym. So the main differences are, 1, you have more time to lollygag, I guess, on your non-work days, which I think you should take advantage of if recovery is limited. 2, on non-work days, you can spend a little bit longer at the gym. So those are the days that I move legs to. I try not to do legs before a shift because it fries me. It's a little bit stressful and I don't get as good of a workout, and I also can't go to my favorite gym. So I will move legs to one of my days that I don't work so I get a better workout. I will do a workout like shoulders or full body or sometimes back before a work day because they're pretty quick relatively. Legs is never quick. They're pretty quick. I can do them more effectively with like less complex equipment, if that makes sense. I'm not as picky about equipment, I guess. And then, you know, I still get like a good workout. So with that, I have to think about moving my nutrition around a little bit. I'm all about routine and consistency, but sometimes you have to find the routine within the chaos. So consistency in your plan applied to an inconsistent schedule can still be very effective. And what I mean by that is, so I can do legs today because I've been off all weekend. I was off Saturday, Sunday, and today, Monday. I can do legs today. It's gonna be great. I can spend 2 hours at the gym. I can pose after, whatever. And then I try to go to bed at least by 3 a.m. I typically want to go to bed sooner, but I try to stay up till 3 a.m. and try to sleep till noon. So that'll be my goal. Sleep that long and then wake up and then go do my cardio and train tomorrow before work. Then I will work through the night, come home, have my last meal, and go back to sleep. Wake up about 2 hours before my shift, do my cardio, and then go to work again. So that second day where I'm working the back-to-back, that will be a rest day. Rest day is relative because I don't feel very rested, but whatever. So that's my rest day. So that'll be my low carb day. Whereas tomorrow will be a moderate carb day because I will get to lift. I highly, highly recommend making back-to-back days rest days. When I used to work 3 in a row all the time, I would take the second and third days in a row both as rest days. And I know that that's not ideal per like a bodybuilding schedule, like you want to spread your rest days out, but I'm telling you, if I tried to lift between a shift, I would not have a good lift and I would feel unrecovered and I wouldn't enjoy the workout at all. So I would rather take advantage of the fact that when I'm home, I can relax and I can sit and I'm not doing as much physically, and that also goes with having like an active job. And I will use those days and maybe work out 4 days in a row, something like that. Right now, prep makes things a little bit different, so we go week to week as to when we need to move any additional rest days. And I've also avoided scheduling myself 3 days in a row, except on peak week when I'm scheduled 3 days in a row at the beginning of the week, which I'm not seeing that happening, but we'll deal with that when it comes. So I will work like 1, take a couple days off, and then I'll work 2, take a couple days off, that kind of thing. So the diet is the same, it just kind of is different depending on what kind of those 3 kinds of days it is. Whether it's a home day, whether it's a standalone work day, or whether it's a back-to-back work day. So what I mean by that is on days that I'm home, my day starts earlier, like I'll wake up around maybe 10 or 11 and I'll do my cardio and have my first meal around 1 or 2, and then I have a meal every like 2 or 3 hours after that. So my last meal typically is like midnight or 1 a.m. On work days, it's a little bit harder. I'm having to spread meals out to like 4 or 5 hours apart, which sucks, but I'm also so busy that it doesn't like completely eat me alive. But especially on the days when I lift before, I have to have that pre-workout meal pretty early, around, 1 or 2, and then I'm waiting until 6 to eat a meal right before work, and then I'm waiting till like 10, and then it goes to every 3 where I'll go 10, 1, 4. So I spread out the first few meals because I'm so busy that it's easier, and that way I can have the next 3 meals like consistently within 3 hours of each other. And then that would go about the same on the second day in a row. The only difference is I'm not getting up as early because I'm not training before, I'm just doing cardio. So I can go ahead and do my first meal as my 6 p.m. pre-work meal. And then I can keep things about 3 hours apart through the night. So I will show you all the checklists that I do. I'm not gonna show you my full day because, you know, it's my diet plan and you can't have it completely. And I give you full days of eating, my God. But I will show you kind of how I plan it and like how I will change it day to day. So tomorrow is a work day. Today's rest, tomorrow's a work day, and then according to my schedule, Wednesday is also a work day. So starting today, I'll show you those 3 back to back. So today, for instance, I'll show you this. So today is Monday. So this is my Monday schedule. So I have my morning stuff, my cardio, and then I will progress through my meals, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, pre-workout, that kind of stuff. I'll progress through those throughout the day. And then I just change the time beside the meal to the time that I need it to be today. So like meal 1 today, I just had it like 4. And that's because, remember I told you earlier, I went ahead and packed the fish. So meal 2 I had at like 1 p.m. or whatever. So I'll change the times beside them so I have the plan for the day. And then I know what order, and then I can just check them off as I go, because sometimes they're not in order, especially if on like the first work day I will work out. So my first meal will be my pre-workout meal. So I'll go ahead and put that on my schedule as first meal at, you know, 2 p.m. or whatever, and that's my pre-workout meal. And then I'll go ahead and schedule the other meals so I know when I'm having them.